United in 7th position. They have a game in hand on West Ham above them and Wolves below them, but they're on 28 points, which is a point outside 5th position and a Europa League place. But look how far away they are now from a top 4 place, 7 points away. But they do have 2 games in hand on Arsenal, who as of now sit in 4th position. Interesting there, the first line that came out of Ralph Rangnick's mouth was, I didn't like it. Robbie Mustoe, cool. What did he not like about it? What did you not like about it?
Well, I didn't like anything about it. He points out one of the 4 kind of pillars of a performance from a player or a team. And those pillars are technical, tactical, physical, mental. And we can get to all of them, by the way, in this conversation. Physical, he talks about, and I agree with him, didn't match the fire from Newcastle United players, from the fans, the atmosphere, didn't embrace it, didn't get stuck in, didn't earn the right to play, which is a big cliche that we use all the time, but it's kind of important. So Rangnick talked about that. I'll go tactical. 4-2-2-2. And it's different, and he's really persisting with it. I'm really not sure whether it suits a lot of the front players. I think what Man United have, maybe to their fault, detriment in my opinion, is lots of similar players. When you look at Ronaldo, you look at Greenwood, you look at Rashford, you look at Jadon Sancho, individual players, Rebecca, dribblers. The attack often ends with one of those players. They're not really combining players, not really 1-2 players. They're very individualistic, and Bruno's a little bit different. Is he a wide player that comes in with that third 2? You know, I don't know whether it's going to work. So that's tactical. I'll get you coming in 1 second.
You'll get a chance tomorrow.
Yeah, technically wise, that system allows space in the fullback areas. Dalot and Telles are average fullbacks. So most of the space and time that they have to build up is with 2 players that are OK, but they're average. OK, so the technical side of things not great. And I'll finish after the 2 midfield players, not technically good. So the tactical, the technical, as well as the physical, and we'll get onto the mental, I think, with some other stuff, attitude stuff, is what's going wrong with them. So lots of things that's potentially fixable with the manager, but maybe with the squad and that system, lots of work to do.
I want to come back to that because I do think it's a work in progress. But I also think 3 years of problems at this football club, Rebecca, are not going to be sorted out with 3 Premier League games. Yeah, they've had 2 1-0 wins. He didn't play particularly well against Norwich. David De Gea was the best player, as he was last night. Robbie's talked about a system of play. When we look at Manchester United, remember we started the season saying they're in the title race. There's enough talent in this group to go close to winning a title. So the structure of what's been put in place is not there. Something that helps the collective group to be good and the individual players to prosper, to play. So the Ronaldos, so the Fernandes and Rashfords, and they all then can play and you can see the best of them. We're not seeing that at the moment. And I want to go back to the point that Rob made about the 4-2-2-2. Is Rangnick wedded to this system? So whatever it is, he's going to find square pegs to play in this system, or does he look at Manchester United and go, this doesn't work for us, actually? I've got Fred and McTominay in 2 important positions where they're starting to play, who gave the ball away yesterday. It was embarrassing, Rob. They can't get Bruno Fernandes on the ball till he changes the system. So is he wedded to the system, or is he going to look at this group of players and say, I've got to change it and do a little bit different?
Well, that's really interesting because coaches are either wedded to a system, or I'm going to take a look at my squad and figure out what works best. Yeah. In this circumstance, I hope he's the latter. I hope he looks at the squad and realises, actually, and he did, to be fair, he changed it in the second half where Rashford came on, Sancho came on, Rashford were wider to do their individual dribbling stuff, and they looked a little bit better.
Let's talk about the mentality. Yesterday, Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes at the end of the game went straight down the tunnel. Many of the other Manchester United players went over to clap the away fans. And on British television, Gary Neville, former Manchester United player, of course, called Ronaldo and Bruno whinge bags.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that means, it basically means sort of like a whiny attitude, kind of not getting my own way.
Throw your hands up.
Yeah, bad attitude.
Yeah.
Your take on that?
This problem isn't just about systems, and I take what Gary Neville's saying, Rebecca. This football club needs to change a culture. There's a culture change that has to happen, and that takes time.
I thought the culture change happened at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and the culture was all better, people were happier, and everybody's...
What is it, Rob, when you see this? Because what I'm saying is the culture comes through going through difficult times together as a team and coming out the other side and knowing that you've got each other's back. I'm not sure this Manchester United team have that at the moment, and I don't know if Rangnick in 6 months can build that. That sometimes takes a year or 2 of working together. I don't think this Manchester United, as you talked about those individuals and those people throwing their hands up in the air, that isn't helping the team.
Yeah, but sometimes on the other side of that, don't we say sometimes, where's the leaders? Where's the players pulling out players and trying to get them going? And I know there's a way of doing it, and maybe Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes, maybe it isn't their best attribute. Or I just think Bruno looks frustrated, but he's one of their best players, Rob. And if he looks frustrated sometimes, the camera's going to go on their faces a lot. The kick out for Ronaldo was risky. I think there's more problems than them throwing their arms up.
The three teams that they're chasing have a spirit, have a little bit collective about them. Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City. They've got a little bit. Liverpool can suffer, can go intense and find a way out the other side. I don't sense Manchester United are there yet, and that might take a different manager, a different culture, a bit more time in that dressing room.
But doesn't it sum up nicely, Rebecca, all the issues that a team could have, and you can tick every one of these 4 boxes, and we're talking about them as being something the team needs to work on. Yeah.
When did they have that spirit that you're talking about? When was the last time Manchester United, who we all grew up with as the epitome of that spirit?
I mean, it's a great question, and we lived it. We saw it. We stood face to face with it.
We played against it, by the way, and that beat you sometimes. The spirit of those teams, not just the players, the spirit of that group beat you.
The hard work. They were the best hard-working players United used to sign. The best, technically, hard-working players. The Giggs, the Beckham, the Scholes, the Keanes. They worked their socks off when they came away with some tough games.
But you look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester City. They've got star players who work, Rebecca, who do the other side of the game. Mo Salah runs up and down that left-hand side. He's got 15 goals and 9 assists. He should be sitting there on a deck chair saying, you lot work and give me the ball. He works as hard. Manchester United haven't quite got that yet, and that's got to come back to that football club, as well as systems, as well as players, if they're going to get successful again.
Kevin De Bruyne was chasing the ball down to get the ball back at 7-0 up against Leeds only last week. Chances of top 4 for United now.
Still got it. Still think they can do it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, still in with a chance, but I'm telling you, if other people are in form, Arsenal, Spurs in particular, are in good form.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.